Steeler roster. Where Noisy, I think, we're just coming in for a bit of fun and a bit of cash.
But finally, we are into game one. Thank you for waiting for us. Sets of 3, which means all 3 games will be played out for the maximum amount of points. And Chiefs will be looking to start off really strong, nice and early.
Yeah, Jake bullying CJM and getting that early pressure, turning it right back down on Lovedex and starting that backboard that OCE loves so much.
The setup is not touched. Torsos hits it on the backboard a second time, and Chiefs immediately off the bat find themselves in a comfortable position. As Jake comes around this left-hand side, he's going to try and follow the ball down. Chiefs still holding it down this side, unable to let Lovedex clear the ball away. And look at this, the Chiefs are just so far ahead. They look like they're playing around a little bit, playing a lot slower than they would on the world stage. But Lovedex still on the defensive. Drippe has another shot. CGM bumps himself up, and Chiefs just not letting it get out of this half.
You know they're feeling pretty confident. Jake is coming straight up into this half of the pitch, and as their most reactive player, if he's happy to move that far forward, they're feeling pretty confident.
But I mean, Korea, the passing from Chiefs in the past has been just so great. Drippe looking for the double touch, and Torso's now going to have to react in the midfield. Monty Connor finally separates the ball on their side from the roof down, but Chiefs still managed to defend.
Yeah, it was an excellent shot, but we did see the bump just coming through. Not in time, though, to secure it. And the follow-up, not in time either.
Very close call there, Korea looking for the center. Chiefs immediately come off strong. Now Drippe is going to pass it right to Monty Connor. No one is there. Easy goal for Lovedex.
Yeah, a little bit of unexpected movement there for the Chiefs. You'd think they'd be able to block it, but unfortunately the setup was too good for Monty Connor, who managed to just sweep it nicely in.
Chiefs look like they're... in any other team you'd say, oh, it's about feeling your opponent in game number 1, but for the Chiefs, it's always been about, yeah, what do they feel like playing here? What are they going to do? And right now, losing that first goal isn't as dire as we may think. Keep an eye on Chiefs and see how they play this one out.
Yeah, I think it was a matter of miscommunication. We did say it was a pass coming from Drippe, and his teammate didn't have the follow-up that led them to a free goal. We are seeing another case of not being able to make the connection that is expected of them.
Well, Torsos and Jake maybe not communicating right. Monty Connor, just like the qualifiers, he's pushing up. Very, very aggressive from the side of Lovedex after finally getting that clear. CGM reaches the ball, and over to Monty Connor now. He's out of boost, however, and as the ball hits down, we're going to have to watch out because the Chiefs will launch their counter-attack. Torsos off the backboard. Very, very careful indeed as the Chiefs still down that 1 goal and looking to at least equal on the scoreboard here, Korea.
Yeah, we have seen some nutty shots typically from the Chiefs in terms of angles, but the fact they had so much backboard bouncing does lead me to be a little bit worried with how their accuracy is going.
Strange touch from Jake, just hands it over to Lovedex again, and Chiefs not having the same pressure they had in that first minute. And in fact, the setup was there for CJM and saved away by Drippe. Adzi now for the second shot. It's going to be met and it's going to jump right into that goal square. Torsos hits it up. It's not a big enough clear. And CGM will bring it back down. Lovedex asserting their dominance in game 1.
Yeah, it's all good and well to get the first touch to the ball, but if you don't have enough power and oomph behind it, you're not going to get the clear, and you're going to continually get assaulted, as we're seeing here.
Speaking of oomph, nice setup again. The third touch necessary, but not found, and now Jake over the top dribbles it. A nice touch over to the left-hand side, and it's going to be Torsos who reacts immediately. Centers there, nice touch down, but unfortunately Drippe will not find the follow-through. Jake not done the passing play. And Chiefs starting to bring out some of their old style into the game, but nothing has worked so far.
Yeah, Lovedex fast off on the defense as well, getting the touches, intercepting the Chiefs. This is the kind of play we expect Chiefs to get away with. Great pass plays that lead into bangers from the side, but they're really struggling to put that nail in the coffin.
Yes, this is not a strong clear either, Korea from Lovedex, and might just open up the Chiefs to knock one through. Now Jake in the midfield, passes it forward. Nice touch from Drippe. Monty Connor reaches up, saves the ball. Demolition in goal will actually mean that Chiefs, no, will not find the counter-attack, will not be able to push through. A minute 20 remaining, Chiefs might not be off to the best start. Yeah,
Monty Connor bullying Jake on the side, does manage to get back in time to defense as well as clearing it out. He is a terrifying man when left alone to play 1v1.
Also, that's great pass over to Drippe, 1-2. The third going to come off the corner now, but it's left, and it's another nice touch from the Chiefs. Not really responded off the backboard, and I don't know if this is going to be a problem for Lovedex, but so much more control being now taken by the Chiefs with a minute left remaining. Not having that goal, great for Lovedex, but there's only one moment that the Chiefs need to get this equalizer.
I'd love to have seen some great double touch there into the goals, but unfortunately the defense from Lovedex has been really strong. Torsos finding the hole though, putting away that goal.
Expecting that now or never from the Chiefs in game number 1. With 42 seconds left on the clock, could go to overtime, but for the Chiefs esports, you're going to be happy with that one, getting it past 2 defenders.
Yeah, with only 42 seconds left on the clock after so long of being on the defense, it does seem the equalizer couldn't have come at a better time.
Well, Lovedex now, what started as a great kickoff match, has now kind of just come to the Chiefs' moment. Their moment with 35 seconds remaining. They're still pushing forward and they're being super aggressive. CGM doing a good job with that clear, but can they follow it through? Right now, Lovedex need this game won. It's going to put them into a comfortable position, especially when they go up against the Chiefs again. Strange times ahead, Korea. We still have a lot of heavy moments coming through. When I say that, I mean that Lovedex just unable to get the clear. It means there's so much pressure on them.
But they're getting so many intercepts as well. The following touch is trying to get the pass plays. Chiefs are unable to make anything off it because Lovedex are just so fast off the ground this game.
Still set up for the Chiefs. 1 second remaining, but ball hits the ground. We go into our first overtime.
Well, that was a scary moment there. There's 2 seconds left on that clock. Chiefs were in a great position to put it through. And now this is where they're probably going to feel a little bit more comfortable. Hope they're warming up into this game because we have seen some missed opportunities from them. And here is the shot and on. Yeah. Classic Torsos just nailing a banger into the top of the bin.
Great setup coming through from the Chiefs. And Jake, untapped, unwired, unworried as Chiefs take game number 1 and expectations now right back on course.
Was a bit scary there for a moment. Lovedex dominating the game for the first 4 minutes as well. That is a good showing.
Well, at least, I mean, you could still see Chiefs were holding Lovedex half. You know, there were a couple of big clears and still, to me, felt like Chiefs were just feeling out their opponent, having a good time. And I know Torsos will not be happy with that score. At least 5 goals he'd probably be asking for there. But Lovedex, I mean, it is a series of 3, so at least taking 1 game is what you want out of a series of the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'd like to see them clean it up a bit more. So whilst they may have pulled that game ahead, I don't think that was a showcase the Chiefs are going to particularly be happy with. They may have pulled 10 plus shots during it, but a lot of them were scattered around the backboard. We know Drippe and Torsos can do freakish angles, and they can do some really nutty stuff. So the fact that they were unable to get the accuracy, like getting it, just peppering that backboard when they had the opportunities to get a little bit closer, is something I expect to see in the next game.
Well, I think that Lovedex as well, they didn't touch the backboard. They let those shots come off, and Chiefs still had a lot of flexibility, although not many of those shots went in, but they still had the flexibility that maybe Lovedex shouldn't have given them.
Yeah, I think Lovedex did pretty well on the defense. We did see so many situations where before it got into the shot area of the actual pitch, they'd come through, they'd get the early intercepts fast off the ground.
Yep.
Monte Connor and Adzi in particular, those guys did a great job. But it'll be interesting to see if Chiefs clean up their game, because I think it'll continue to go further and further away from Lovedex.
Oh, that's right. I mean, it is also, you know, it is the first game, and you know, from memory, like the Chiefs, yeah, they've got a game after this against Retirement Home. So Lovedex arguably maybe at the same skill level as Retirement Home, maybe a little bit better because of Retirement Home's name and also their game. But we'll have to see because it is a series of 3. Remember that there are many opportunities for Lovedex to take away a game. And in game number 2, the Chiefs immediately lose the ball and it's back over to Lovedex.
Yeah, Lovedex unable to get an assist last game as well. Just shows you where the goals were coming from. There was an unforced error at the beginning that led Chiefs into a bad position that got the goal through in the first place.
This is a setup for Torsos and immediately reached up by Adzi, who will send it away. Jake is going to hit the backboard. Montecano finally making that adaptation and hitting it away. Expectations for the Chiefs to take a 3-0, a 3-1, but can Lovedex say something about it? In game number 2, their answer has to come through. Because 2 over 3 is a very good score for the Chiefs to start things off. They want all 3 games. Right now, they're going to be proving it. Stopped by Adzi. That ball may have rolled in, but Drippe was on his backside. Now Lovedex over the right-hand wing, just trying to set themselves up for a goal, but a big miss there may mean something. The Chiefs will be able to regain their boost and re-push this ball down the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, Adzi cheated forward as well, trying to take advantage of the fact he knew the ball was coming, but the missed touch does mean that it got pushed into the Chiefs' control, and the huge clear that's coming out has just flipped the entire control of the pitch around.
CGM loses the ball, the 50-50, that's not too good. Adzi steals the ball away from Jake, and as he comes off this left-hand wing, watch him drop down. It's just going to reach Drippe, and so far Lovedex pushing the ball up a little bit more, but it still feels like the same as game 1 as Drippe. Some nice touches coming off the Chiefs, just not being able to finish it. The 1 is without the 2 here, Courier, and Chiefs Esports, although they still hold control, they're not scoring anything. Yeah,
Drippe had no boost there, but continued to push forward, forcing Lovedex to send another player who actually was armed up, making them waste positioning, which was a pretty clever move.
Montecano over the side of CJM, and Montecano gets that demolition. It's going to be looking pretty good for Lovedex as the ball comes off the backboard. Montecano drops it down, but it's not a powerful enough shot. CJM may be able to react here, but it'll be instantly cleared away. And Chiefs say the counter-attack is on as Torsos gets a free touch on the backboard. Will not find the second. Jake sets it up for center field, but Montecano, that's a nice angled shot, and Drippe enough boost to hit it up. As he coming around the corner again, set up once more. As Lovedecks continue to angle their shots, but still not finding the mark. The drop down from Torsos.
What a filthy setup as well. Drippe doing the two-touch defense for setting up for a monster clear. Torsos with that double touch on the backboard. Straight past CJM. Right idea, but just not fast enough to defend.
And we saw this a lot in the qualifiers. We expect someone to come away and sweep it away from the backboard, but timing a little bit off from CJM means that Chiefs find their first goal of Game 2.
And that's a scary place to be. Chiefs are one of the teams that we have seen in the past with the lowest goals scored against. So when they want to go a little bit more defensive and play safe, they are a team that can get away with it. Because stylistically, it matches.
A moment from Torsos. Second touch, unable to come through. Drippe now on the defensive. Wins away that challenge. Gets the ball again. And pass through Lovedecks are still on the defensive here. As Drippe now proves. Adzi for the clear. Jake not done just yet. The second touch looking to hit the backboard, and it does. One more final touch. Misses, hits the crossbar, comes back out. Lovedecks happy, but not happy at the same time. Chiefs Esports Club look like they're still holding the majority of possession in this second game.
Yeah, Drippe doing some great control in the defensive part of the pitch, and also just doing great around the pitch. The whole team of Chiefs is pretty terrifying when they get comfortable and start pushing.
I mean, this is not Chiefs at 100% either. This is Chiefs coming back after 3 months of no throwdown competition. You can see their angles are still beautiful, but not everything is on par. Game number 2 is still a great way to work out what the Chiefs are feeling like in 2018, and Lovedecks, a great match to start for them, especially in league play when Chiefs are probably the most horrifying opponent you're going to verse.
It's one of those matches as well, even if they don't pull a game in this series, the fact that they've gone so toe-to-toe with them is a good example of what they're going to showcase to the rest of the tournament, where they will fight the other big powerhouse teams and take them down.
Yeah, Chiefs definitely sitting on top of that ladder. Jake now dribbling. It's a nice touch. It's going to go over the top, but CJM, this time he does hit the ball, and Drippe, a beautiful angle once again, and got to be expected from the Chiefs. With a minute remaining, they will hold this lead. However, with the demolition from Adzi, that relinquishes some pressure. The follow-through from CJM, and Lovedecks are back on the board.
Jake not getting the flip he wanted, and consequently losing a little bit of time leading to that demo allowed Lovedecks to come through now and steal away a great touch and a great goal.
CGM knows exactly where to be and might be going into another overtime career.
And that could be tight. And a pretty similar time as well, 52 seconds, and the other one was in 40. Repeat of last game, or will Lovedecks turn it back round and take one of their own?
Well, the Chiefs Esports Club, as I do awkwardly touch your hand, will still be looking to push forward here. That touch hits the backboard. That should be a free one, and Drippe scores.
Drippe fast off the ground, reads that CJM is struggling to get there in time and puts through a punish, and with so little time left on the clock as well, they could be in a scary moment.
Easy when you know how. Chiefs Esports 40 seconds, 1 goal up, and Lovedecks put back into the position of how the hell do we beat these guys? And Chiefs Esports make it that hard as Drippe sets up for number 3. Adzi, ball goes over the top. Jake reaches up. And now the Chiefs, the passing play. I don't know why Torsos is up as well. Interesting passing play. Misses one defender from Lovedecks, and the Chiefs Esports are kind of dribbling and playing with the ball, but here we go again. Drippe off the backboard. Adzi clears it away. Jake is back in. Good timing there from the Chiefs member. Over to the side. Torsos denied. And the clear, although away, will not amount to anything for Lovedecks and Chiefs. They might just look for another goal here, Korea. They may just look for one opportunity, but CJM brings it back. What a great setup from Lovedecks.
What a steal as well. There they were playing defensively, trying to push it into your opponent's corner, but CJM getting that huge pass read and just taking that clear shot. He saw the way.
Back on the board, back on top, Lovedecks. Let's go to overtime, they say, for a second time.
I don't think there's going to be a goal in the next 4 seconds, so overtime is pretty assured.
Yeah, Chiefs Esports, they're not going to be happy with that. But like we said, I mean, it is the first game of league play. Anything can happen. Overtime, second time. We're not going without our overtimes today, which is quite a nice feeling if you're sitting where we are.
I want exciting games, and I'm glad that they're coming together so tight. This is a season where everyone is going to be hard pushed to pull through in the end.
What a great pass from Jake, though, however, Korean Chiefs are looking very dangerous. Same as usual. Montecano, though, the response is there. Lovedecks, they get a game. They pick one against the Chiefs.
What a comeback as well, seeing that holes coming through in the Chiefs' defense and then drawing them out with these beautiful pass plays. CJM knows where to be. It's communication. That's what we want. Teams that can come well, know where they need to be so they can finish up and take these goals off teams that normally have such strong defenses.
That's right. 1 goal in overtime is the difference. And picking up a point, Love Decks now have the opportunity to get that 2-point lead over Chiefs. Get that 2-point lead that starts any team off strong in league play. For the OCE Open Series, I mean, $15,000 on the line in prize pools. You have to look at where you want to sit, where you want to finish. How easy is your gauntlet run going to be? And Love Decks, although only day number 1, they have the opportunity to start off strong.
Yeah, and they're getting some great reads as well. The fact that they're opening up the Chiefs' defense and then pushing straight through shows that when Chiefs are a little bit shaky, which they have been around the pitch a bit, they can take advantage of that, and they know how to play as a team with good communication to break through those goals.
I mean, so do Love Decks just know how to play as a team.
Yeah, they're solid.
You know, CJM, Adzi, Monty Connor. Like, Monty Connor has stepped up. He's been where he needs to be. CJM, you saw a good highlight of him there. Adzi always pretty much either on the defense or in the midfield in that game. But even so, Love Decks, comfortable position now.
Yeah, CJM on Wildfire. Get on. You got a hat-trick that game. Yep. Hat-trick against Chiefs as well in the first day of league play. That is a good way to get into this year. He did have a bit of a rough year last year, failing to qualify in one of the events that he was expected to make that run through. And now coming in this year going, you know, first competition, going into league play, 3 goals on the Chiefs. It's a good way to start.
Yeah, it's a fantastic way to start. In fact, in overtime, you know, both these games have gone to overtime. It's been one way or another. The Chiefs, I don't know what their mentality is. I don't know what they're saying in comms, but there was a double commit there that you don't normally see from these guys, and maybe taking it a little bit too easy against Love Decks, but then again, maybe Love Decks are surprising the heck out of them.
What is a scary moment, right? Each player on the Chiefs is mechanically terrifying, so it could be a case of when they get panicked, they think, you know what, I can get up there and I can fix this problem, and then coming forward and not having the trust that's normally there.
We know at the off-season and the start of the season, the Chiefs esports have not always, you know, put on the best performance, and whether this is a start of bad things to come or whether this is just one game, if they're not feeling the best, we'll find out. Ball taken away in game number 3, Drip Bay not holding on. Love Decks now pushing Chiefs onto the defensive, and not a good sight to see if you are the Chiefs. They're pushed in, 2 people in net, 1 around. There's Drip Bay. Still not a strong power clear. Also, puts it around, but CGM reacts immediately. Looks like the Chiefs being starved a little bit of boost here, but finally getting the ball out will open up their opportunities. And also through the center field and try and find the setup once again. Chiefs Esports Club now. Drip Bay picking up the boost. Jake on this right-hand wing has a moment to strike. The pass was not there, nor was the communication from the Chiefs.
Yeah, but he did force out the Love Decks to pass it to him. And now CGM with another opportunity for a huge chase up the field.
And Jake back in time, however, Monty Connor with the angle. Adzi hits it up, and it's going to be back centered around to Drip Bay. Chiefs now do not want the ball to be here, but Torsos is up first. CJM should react, but Jake had an opportunity to strike. Out of boost on the side of Torsos. Drip Bay hits it on the backboard, redirected by Adzi, and it's going to be sent away. Love Decks holding strong and have had many opportunities here. Chiefs not as many. Try and find an opening, from the corner. Jake just not getting anywhere with these setups.
It's so cool that they show CJM so much respect when he comes forward. Half the time when he goes up, we are seeing the Chiefs players be like, no, he's probably going to get it, and backing right back out.
There's respect that you need to have with this player. Monty Connor now takes the one-on-one. Jake brings it back to Torsos. Interesting pass, slides through, but not through CJM's fingers. As he clears the ball out, 3 minutes left on this clock to the last game. Remember, series of 3, as many points as possible for CGM. One little knock, that's all he needs. Monty Connor fixes the mistake.
CJM with some serious styling there, unable to finish it on his own, but who cares? That was a beautiful play, getting it past not only the first Chiefs player, but the second, allowing Monty Connor to finish it off. Damn, son.
Off the wall, very nicely done. Love Decks members happy about that one. 1 goal, 2:42 remaining. Chiefs Esports not sure what's going on here, but games 2 and 3 have not looked as convincing. Demolition, Jake runs in, now Drip Bay recovers the ball over to Torsos. What happened there? Jake covers it, hits the side post. Not sure what's going on with the Chiefs' career.
Yeah, missed opportunities are a bit abound. Hopefully they can bring it back together. There is 1 game left, and it is 1 apiece. So this could be an upset in the first match of the day.
Torso's just flying through the air. He's come back now, but I think he was trying to take a little bit of boost away from Love Decks. I'm sure that one will get explained to me. CJM centers. Wait at Chiefs. Back and forth again, but clears still big enough. Chiefs set up on that backboard. CGM being left into defense here with Adzi continuing to be in that midfield. CGM got a couple of saves so far in game number 3. Torsos brings the ball up on the backboard. Dunks down. Not in the right direction, however. Chiefs still looking for that opening, but unable to find one. The defense very, very strong. Chiefs now has the shot from Drippe.
Yep, sliding it on through there, finding that tiny little hole which they can punch the goal through the defense underneath Monty Connor. And that is how we expect it done. Getting it right past the defense. It doesn't matter if he's at rear post. It's going to happen.
Unfortunate for Adzi, but a great shot from the Chiefs. Equalizing once again, and feels like Lovedeck's serious contender for the OCE Open Series if I'm just counting on day number 1. And of course, you know, when you look at the schedule, Lovedeck's today, they only have 1 game, but what a strong performance in the single game. Drippe now setting up for what Torsos could not do. The ball's into the corner, hits the crossbar. Torsos follows up at CGM, another save to add to his name.
It is such a good tournament. I wish we could see more of Lovedeck's going into this as well. The fact they only get 1 game after showcasing this strong, and if they win this as well, I'm going to be even more upset.
Well, tomorrow we will see a little bit more from them, but for now, game's still not over. A minute remaining. Good angles from Lovedeck. CGM here to recover the ball. Adzi is in front of goal. Tries to fake it out, but does not. Torsos now recovering the ball. The counterattack from Chiefs is imminent. And Monty Connor, that's a great pass. Not what was intended, but still keeps it down Chiefs' side of the field. And with 45 seconds remaining, Korea, this is so important to keep the pressure on. And
both teams have now won in overtime, so no one's going to feel comfortable. And there CJM takes another goal, popping it over the heads, forcing Chiefs to try find an equalizer.
Yeah, Lovedeck's finding themselves a nice touch with that one. 2 goals, 40 seconds remaining. Chiefs again in an uncomfortable position, one we did not expect them to be in.
And a position they probably aren't used to as well, dropping back this early. League play online is where Chiefs are terrifying. LAN is where they're even scarier. So for them to start a competition this soon against a team they were expecting to win, we were expecting to win quite handedly, is going to put them in a weird mental place.
I think it was enough that they did not find the 3-0, or at least they have 2 games up. But to potentially not get the most points you can is just really heartbreaking for Chiefs fans everywhere. Not going to start them off well, but Torsos fake around the ball, does not. Not done yet for Chiefs. The last play going to come through with 10 seconds remaining. Drippe follows the ball from the wall, met by 3 members, everyone on defense duty for Lovedeck, and why shouldn't they be? With 1 second remaining, Lovedeck take out the majority of games in the series of 3.
What an upset. The reigning champions, the team that has gone international and placed well, is now being taken down by the Lovedecks, and despite the fact that Chiefs had so many shots and attempts for doing the comeback.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs look strong in some moments, but that definitely wasn't the Chiefs that we've seen on the international stage. That wasn't the Chiefs who've gone and taken down people like NRG or Ghost Yummy.
It's also a sign that the OCE scene is just getting stronger.
Yeah.
There's been multiple people I've talked to this week, Kia including, saying that Chiefs are right now able to be taken down. I mean, they're playing online, and I wonder if Chiefs, at this point in time, after losing that 2-1, are recalling Throwdown Season 3, where that's where they stumbled right after RLCS, and it could be a repeat.
Hopefully it's for a different reason, though, because they were doing that stylistic change after coming back from the internationals. I know that you're quite close with them in terms of conversation about how their strategies go, so hopefully they're trying up something new, and this is just some wiggle room and a bit of a new groove.
I don't think they are. I mean, especially watching this match. Game number 1, I would have to agree with Jake on that one. They were not mechanically up to par in game number 1. The Chiefs were not really performing, and Lovedecks were able to hold it. But what really did it for Lovedecks is they played differently in all 3 games. They just played standard in game number 1. In game number 2, they started really upping the bumps and demos, and I think that is what really took the Chiefs by surprise.
Yeah, and their defense was pretty crazy as well. The amount of hate they took from all those potential shots, even though they weren't the best shots from Chiefs, they managed to get them away and get clears off them as well.
See, I have to just disagree on that. I think their defense is where they could improve the most.
Yeah.
On attack, they were really clever. They were going for passes when they could have gone for shots, but there were 3 goals that Lovedecks got scored on because they failed to get a clear off the backboard. There were some moments, there was confusion in the net. And that's a huge sign, because Lovedecks, if they can up their defense, then they're a team that could regularly beat the Chiefs, you know?
That's right. That's exactly right. And while we're talking about Love decks, I want to talk about Monty Connor again, who had another good showcase. I thought it was just going to maybe be the qualifier, maybe against the competition he's going up against. But Monty Connor against the Chiefs performed the same as he did last week against some of the teams that didn't make it through.
It wasn't the same monster performance in terms of scoring goals, but he had a lot of connections. CJM really stepped up in this series. Not only did he get 4 goals across the 3 games, but he also got 6 saves. So he was a big player. Actually, 7 saves. He was a big player in defense. So they've all shown that even though I think all 3 of them you can say had a rough 2017 with rocky patches, 2018 is potentially the year for these 3.
Yeah, what a fantastic start coming through for Love decks. And Chiefs now have to go up against Retirement Home, and things are not looking very good. However, if you're interested in becoming like one of our top 8 teams, you can sign up for our weekly Throwdown Cups. Our monthly final is actually coming around next Tuesday, where Yummy and I believe will be looking at these new up-and-coming 8 teams. We are going to have a short 3-minute break, but when we return, Retirement Home will see if they too can beat the Chiefs.